In this video, we're going to take a look at solving radical equations, but ones that involve higher order roots. If you are just learning how to solve these, so you're in Algebra 2 or Pre-Calc perhaps, or at the college that I teach at, this would be an intermediate algebra topic. Typically, you are not introduced to really complex higher order roots, meaning that over on the right hand side you would have a binomial or a trinomial, that sort of thing, because solving that beyond this step is incredibly difficult. So we typically cheat. However, we're not going to cheat here. We don't need to. We just want to get the idea across. I made a previous video on this, and so I'm going to just kind of piggyback on that. But all we're going to do is isolate the radical, in which case it already is. Then we're going to raise both sides to the power of the index. And the whole point behind that is we're going to cancel out the radical. So we have to isolate one of them. It doesn't matter which one, we just have to isolate one. And then if during our whole process we end up having a radical still in the answer after doing all of our math correctly, then we'll have to repeat 1 and 2 until all of our radicals have been cleared. After that, we might have an unholy mess, but we still have to solve it. So I take a look at this. I've isolated the radical, which is the cube root of 7x plus 1. I'm going to do some really quick testing here just to see if I even have to continue. And so I have a cube root, and if I take a look at types of numbers, typically the types of numbers that we're concerned about are positive or negative or 0. So I'm going to check the numbers really quick and say, okay, well, if I take the cube root of a positive, I get a positive. All right, well, I have a negative over there. Well, if I take the cube root of 0, I get 0. If I take the cube root of a negative, I still actually get a negative, because a negative cubed is negative. And the reason it doesn't work in the evens is if you take a look at the definition of what it means to be a root, the square root of something being negative can't happen, because that means you would have had to square something in order to create a negative number, and that just doesn't work. So we're going to go ahead and raise both sides to the third power. That's going to give us the 7x plus 1 because the cube root and the cube cancel each other out. And over on the right hand side, we're going to get negative 125. From here, we subtract 1 from both sides, giving us 7x is equal to negative, whoa, how many equals are there going to be? We don't know. Negative 126. And then we are going to divide that by 7, and it does work. See, 70 would have given me 58. Okay, so 18. So x equals 18, but a negative. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and plug this back in to see if it's true. And negative 18 times 7 should give you negative 126. And then add 1 to get a negative 125, and the cube root of negative 125 is negative 5. And so that checks out. By and large, with the cube roots, you're going to get one answer. You'll get at least one answer. So it depends on what the other side looks like, but traditionally just about one answer is all you'll get at this stage of the game. So make sure to go back and check it, though. Do not fall off the wagon on that. All right, hope this little video helped you. Take care.